And it's only time's only going to allow that we're going to see another winter weather event or two in the area.
Yeah, that's right, Scotty. Just like we talked about, really through the middle of November and into December, that I guess the middle half of November, all the way almost till Christmas, we were in a prime winter pattern where we're getting these big low pressure systems, to ride the Gulf Coast and cross over Florida up the eastern seaboard, and we were getting these systems every 4 to 6 days, and you're getting 1 to 2 inches of rain in Columbia, which if we're in winter weather and snow mode, that's a lot of snow, especially if you start talking snowfall ratios, where generally speaking you get 10 inches of snow at a 1 inch of precipitation. But getting in so far after Christmas, New Year's, first part of 2019, the pattern flopped, and with that big ridge over the eastern United States, it's just been warm here, and it's been nice. It's been a good change, but kind of ready to get back to winter, and it looks like it's going to. Sometimes it takes a while for the cold air to really beat off the warm air, trying to move up out of the Gulf, and going forward with this storm this weekend is going to be a prime example. We're going to have another wedge set up. Saturday night into Sunday as a low. Really, it's going to be a weak area surface low pressure. It's going to basically try to go up the western side of the mountains, but it's not going to be able to. So what's going to happen? A new center low pressure will form off the North Carolina coast, and what that's going to do is basically going to cause another rainstorm. But you folks up in the mountains and the upstate probably going to see a mixed bag of a little bit of everything, especially Saturday night through Sunday. Probably some sleet, freezing rain, but hopefully this pattern will stick, and we can start getting some reinforcing shots of cold air. And for the snow lovers like me and like a lot of other people, I'd love to see a little bit of snow before it gets 95 degrees again. And just kind of get y'all. I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. Even with the active southern track that we had, November through December, we didn't see any real prolific nor'easters, and even some of the model guidance suggests this storm will be much the same way. Once it passes out, past Hatteras, it gets swept a lot further east than what we're used to with storms passing near the benchmark and being these prolific 30-inch blizzards in Boston. What do y'all think's causing that?
I think the polar jet is probably causing that. There's a lot of movement to the north, a lot of traffic from west to east, and so it's almost like a predisposition set up for the stratospheric polar vortex displacement. It's almost like we're waiting for that giant Rossby to make its way across, and so there's a lot of that forward traffic and that momentum going ahead of it. We got a large storm about to impact Northwest Pacific states right now. So there's not a lot of typhoon action in the Western Pacific drawing energy and teleconnection, but there is a nice forward surge going on. So we'll just have to watch. I'd say watch the polar jet at 300 millibar level and see. I might be able to pull that up here in just a second. We'll talk about it after the show, but I mean that might be one cue to find out why there's so much movement, these mid to upper lows moving away to the east very quickly. So without a Rossby wave, you don't have a large dip that it really draws up the coastline. Let's see. So the current state of it right now, the polar jet, you can see you have the subtropical jet down here to the south. The polar jet's kind of taking a dip right now. That's gonna shove off, and then you just get a lot of traffic from west to east. Nothing in particular, but I mean, look at that subtropical jet to the south. It just keeps that westerly flow between the two jets really going out to sea. So there's nothing's really gonna. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, Chris, in one of your posts, it's a Miller B setup, but it's not going to stick around. I mean, it's definitely a landlocked system that's going to be moving out very quickly, which is good. It's a good thing. So we don't want anything to really cause any major blizzards or storms, ice storms for that.
Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with that, Shay.